Bless. Welcome to the Stroke Thriver podcast. I'm so glad you're here. Every week I show up with something that I want to share with you. And sometimes I wonder if that somebody is you, but if you're not subscribing to my podcast, you don't know. I can miss you. So, so please hit the button now. So, a few tidy or housekeeping items I want you to know before I get into today's topic. If you're new here, um, this used to be called the Stroke Folk Show. Earlier this year, I changed the name, and it's not because the mission has changed, um, but because the name caught up with it. So, folk describes what you are, but thrivers describes how you live. So, it's the same heart, the same passion, and the Stroke Folk show didn't vanish. The past episodes are on my YouTube channel, which is at Stroke Thrivors, plural, and that's Thrivors as V as in victory, OR. So please subscribe or just check it out. So people often ask me why do I show up this week, every week, same time, same channel, so to speak. But there's lots of reasons why. Um, but um, three things come to my mind. First, it's practice, and that's great. Way back when I was in the early in the stroke recovery in the first year, when I got graduated from outpatient stroke speech therapy, uh, my therapist said to me, "It's time you now have to go out and speak with the public." And I thought, what is she talking about? So I'm an introvert, and it didn't really appeal to me. But fast forward 11 years, and I found a community, and I realized I can share my experiences with dealing with the strokes. And so I launched, first I did a blog, and then I started posting live. I posted in Instagram and Facebook, and boom. And I started, oh boy, probably about 3 years ago, maybe longer. I started having a weekly session. I got together. First, it was called the Question and Answers, and morphed into the podcast. So the long way away is saying it's practice. Two, I'm deeply curious, and when I find something I want, I am excited about, I want to share with you. And last, I really think um, if it's in my heart or my mind or both, it's something I want to share with you. And the internet allows us to do this either for free or cheap. Um, and there's nobody really censoring me. So I can tell you what's going on, and what's the latest and greatest, even if it isn't popular. So that's it. So the other thing, between episodes, I'm writing for you for the Stroke Thrivers. Way back when, in November 2024, I published my first book, Stroke Survivors First Aid Kit, and it is a combination of my journey and my my experiences with which is which you can benefit from my experiences. And so check out that. And then about 6 months ago, I wrote the word search for stroke recovery book, volume 1. And that's the easiest. And that was because when I was first in my recovery, I had to reconnect my brain with my words, and word searches were one way that I did it. So I love if I can help you, I would be grateful, um, or I would be tickled pink. Um, so volume 2 will come out. That's just with diagonal words added, and then the volume 3 will be more complicated, but it has them all directions, and check them out if they like you, if you like them. I'm grateful that you find it helpful. All right. And you can look at them if you open up your browser and type in tinyurl.com/stroke hyphen books. And I have my future books which are coming out will be published there. You find them by using that same tag. So then about 3 years ago, I used to label myself as a stroke survivor, and it led to the book, which is A Stroke Survivor. But I realized I wanted more. Surviving means status quo. But I came up with the idea of saying thrivers and using the same ending, OR, as a survivor. And because you look in all your spell checkers and they say ER. So, but I did that. And then, oh boy, almost 2 years ago, I started commissioning people to design them for me. So here's an example of always keep fighting, stroke thriver awareness. And I did that, stroke thriver, things like that. Occasionally I did it thriving. Um, and the idea is that I can get out the word to be more commonplace. So my goal is that we all put a line through survivor and replace it with thrivers. So check it out, and you can look at that when you open your browser and put tinyurl.com/stroke hyphen designs. And the last thing I want to make sure before we dive in, um, uh, it's a it's from a previous session many moons ago. Um, it's just this: real change occurs when you change your words, your brain and body, and your actions. You change all aligned the same direction over and over repeatedly. And that's when change really happens. So please focus on changing your life in the positive direction and helping others. And then rewiring happens. That's a neuroplasticity. And that's where real change lives. All right, let's start. I'm going to start with a number that stopped me cold. Um, Over 70%, 70, of stroke patients report significant fatigue at the 1 year mark after a stroke. Boom. It happened to me, um, and but not occasionally tiredness, not the kind you can shake off with a good night's sleep. Persistent, life disrupting fatigue. So the kind that limits you, what you do, how long you can focus, um, how much of you can show up uh, tomorrow or today. So on any given day, it can be hard. So we're talking about fatigue that follows you into the morning, afternoon, and evening, and possibly the next day, and maybe longer. And it doesn't apologize for it. It's the fatigue, because it turns out that it is complicated. It's your body healing. But for example, yesterday I went with some friends from church to see a baseball game, Major League Baseball. Locally, we have a franchise which is called the Detroit Tigers. If you know them, great. When I visited Caribbean, um, people love the Tigers down there. But um, my one of my the ladies in our group uh, got us tickets, but she got it on the third level. But third level, we just think third floor, no big deal. I'm talking like 6 or 8 stories above, maybe higher, um, and we climbed up them. Unfortunately, elevators weren't available. Um, um, and we got up there, and I was a little bit challenged, but I was a trooper. And then after half of the first inning had occurred, the rain started. So we tried to go up a little bit higher and get under the awning, but the usher came up and said, "Get down." And we had to go under the covers of the, um, um, anyways. Um, so it was up and down and up. It was interesting to complete, but I didn't realize I probably got home last night, maybe 12:15 in the morning, which is past my bedtime. And or anyways, when I got up this morning, it was 10:30, and I was tired. I still was tired, and it was tired. I'd been dragging all day long, and I realized even after 16 plus years after the strokes, I can still have fatigue. So usually they focus on the first year, but I suspect, and I tell you my experience, it can be hard for a long time. So, but the silence that the research or the community has about this is not okay. No. So the earlier this year, the International Stroke Conference, they had it in New Orleans, made it plain that the most meaningful advances ahead will center on sustained support for stroke patients long after the acute event. What they found out was further that up to 97.5 had of stroke patients had reported long-term unmet needs, and the median was 2 to 5 unmet needs per patient. That's a huge thing. So the information and ongoing support are among the most consistently unmet. Oh, wow. And post stroke fatigue sits right in the center of that gap. So it's the highest prevalence, lowest coach sign in the stroke recovery, fatigue. So, and people experiencing it are largely doing it alone. without language for it, without a plan, and without anybody telling them it's real. So uh, they don't really know what to do with it. So the research is moving fast, but it's in clinical research is paying serious attention, but consumer awareness hasn't caught up with it yet. And the gap between what researchers know and what patients are told is exactly why we're having this conversation today. So, so what actually helps? One thing that helps, one concrete research informed place to start is structured, low intensity physical activity. Hmm. Um, Not pushing through, not grinding like I used to do early in my recovery, which was exactly a wrong thing I should do, the exactly opposite. But um, it's not white knuckling their way through the number on a fitness tracker. I've done that too. Um, it's consistent, intentional movement. Even short walks or short strolls with your wheelchair. When I was in the hospital after the strokes, I would uh, go for journeys on my wheelchair. So it was exercise. So I didn't even realize that it was helpful for me. So um, and this intentional movement, low level intentional movement, has shown up repeatedly in the research as one of the most effective tools for managing post stroke fatigue over time. Um, one research body currently spotlights a tele-rehab program that matches in-clinic rehab outcomes with adherence rates, but the adherence rates approach 83%. So basically, what they should do is what they're doing mostly. So this model works. People are following through. The access brought across the stroke community hasn't been there now. Hasn't been there until now. So that's part of the gap where this podcast exists to fill. So you are living in a moment where the clinical world is officially naming long-term patient support as an unmet need that you cannot fill. The system doesn't fill it on its own. That's not a criticism. That's just the reality of how healthcare is structured. We have out there, but not enough, coaching communities, which we have that's great. And consistent information are not supplements for your recovery; they're requirements. They're a part of it. So they may be the part that carries you the farthest. Huge. So I'm telling you, if you like this, if you like what you heard, um, get a hold of it. You can listen to it on my podcast, which is at Stroke Thrivors. Um, I think you can download, or at least some member levels with YouTube allow it. If you want it, get in touch with me along my website. Um, but you can pass it along to others, either a fellow thriver, a caregiver, or someone a loved one. Either you're listening to this for a stroke patient or someone else. But when there's trying to understand why you're so tired months after a stroke, this is the reason. The more people who understand post-stroke fatigue, the better every patient's recovery goes. Knowledge is the first step. Sharing it is the next. And that's what you do. Please, if you want to get a hold of it, contact me. And gratitude and grit. Oh, remember, you're a thriver. That's V as in victory. O